Las Vegas. From afar, the neon lights still burn, as if nothing could ever dim them. Each flicker across the desert still whispers the promise of the American dream of luck, freedom, and the chance that maybe tonight could change your life. But if you've walked the Strip in recent years, you know something feels different. Behind the glitter, there's a hollow echo, a city that has forgotten the very soul that made it legendary. Once, people came to Vegas to try their luck. They came because they felt welcome, even if they only had a few $100s in their pocket. A place where the ordinary could live like a millionaire, if only for one night. But that city doesn't exist anymore. Today, Vegas has turned into a stage for the ultra-rich, where every breath, every drink, even every parking spot comes with a price tag. Walking onto a casino floor no longer feels thrilling. It feels like stepping into a machine built to drain you. Vegas still sparkles, but its light now hides a spreading darkness, a darkness of greed, illusion, and a culture quietly rotting beneath the glow. And in this episode, we're breaking down 9 reasons why Las Vegas, the capital of luck, pleasure, and sin, is slowly dying under the very lights that made it shine. From hidden fees and rigged games to the death of old Vegas charm and the rise of corporate greed, this is the story of a city that once promised you everything, but now offers you nothing at all. 1. The nickel and dime city. Let's start with a simple truth. Today's Las Vegas doesn't need you to win it, just needs you to pay. What used to be free is now a fee. What used to be spontaneous joy is now a line item on your receipt. Once, Vegas was designed to keep you happy. Cheap hotel rooms so you'd stay longer, delicious food, strong drinks, friendly smiles, all crafted to make you keep playing. And that was the magic. You had fun, and they made money. But Vegas in 2025 isn't built on fun anymore. It runs like a machine, a perfectly engineered system to squeeze you at every turn. Start with the hotels. A room that once cost $49 a night now easily goes for $300 before resort fees, taxes, and parking. You can't even step inside without paying extra for so-called amenities you'll probably never use. Dining? No better. That legendary $9 buffet your parents talk about gone. Today, expect to pay $70 to $100 for the same experience. Even a simple burger can hit $30, and a cocktail, $25. Vegas no longer rewards you for staying, it drains you the moment you arrive. Even gambling, the soul of this city, has been reprogrammed to extract more. The clinking of coins, that thrilling sound of luck, has vanished. Now you feed paper, tap screens, and lose touch with the emotion of risk. The system is designed so you don't notice how fast your money disappears. And those famous free drinks? They aren't free anymore. If you're not betting enough, the waitress will simply pass you by. This is a new Vegas, a city that no longer rewards courage, but punishes loyalty. Gamblers aren't leaving because they lose. They're leaving because they feel used. Las Vegas was once the destination of dreams. Now, it's a money-making machine disguised as paradise. 2. The odds are rigged. There's an old saying in Vegas, the house always wins. But today, it's not a warning, it's a mathematical certainty. Once upon a time, gambling in Vegas was a silent handshake between player and house. You knew the odds favored them, but you also knew you had a fighting chance. The game felt fair until it didn't. Take blackjack, the game that built Las Vegas. For decades, skilled players could keep the house edge around 0.5%. But then, quietly, the rules changed. Instead of paying 3-2 for a natural blackjack, most casinos switched to 6-5. A small adjustment on paper, but one that tripled the casino's advantage. Roulette followed the same path. Classic wheels once had a single zero. Now, most Vegas tables feature double zero, even triple zero wheels. That pushes the house edge from 2.7% to nearly 8%, charging you 3 times more for the same spin. Then there are the slot machines. Old mechanical slots paid out 9,598% of wagers. You could play for hours and still feel in control. Today's digital machines, filled with flashing screens and hypnotic lights, are programmed closer to 85%. A $20 bill can vanish in 5 minutes, and you're left wondering how. Even the sports books, once considered the fairest form of betting, aren't safe. The casino's cut has crept from 10% to 15%. You're paying more for the same bet, with smaller returns. Technology made everything faster, smarter, and far more ruthless. Algorithms track every spin, every hand, every wager, optimizing profits with surgical precision. You're not gambling anymore, you're feeding data into a machine built to beat you. Vegas used to be about emotion and luck. Now it's about probability and extraction. Gamblers aren't quitting because they're afraid to lose. They're quitting because they've realized the truth. The game is no longer fair. 4. When Vegas forgot the middle class. Things in two-way. There was a time when Las Vegas belonged to everyone. You could arrive with a few $100s, stay in a glittering hotel, feast at a buffet, sit down at a blackjack table and feel like a king. Vegas made ordinary people feel extraordinary. In the 1,980 seconds and 1,990 seconds, that was part of the magic. Anyone could live the high roller dream, even just for one night. Casinos knew that if you felt respected, you'd return. They sold emotion, not just entertainment. But that Vegas is gone. Vegas in 2025 makes you pay to exist. A room on the Strip that once cost $49 now runs $200 to $400 a night before taxes and resort fees. A buffet that once cost $10 now costs $70, even $100. Blackjack tables that started at $5 now begin at $25 or $50. Dinner for two at a casual restaurant, $150 to $200. Everything has gone up except the feeling of belonging. Vegas was built for the crowds, the road trippers, the retirees, the dreamers chasing a bit of luck. Today, it's built for whales, the ultra-rich who drop $100,000 in a single night just to feel powerful. And when Vegas chose to serve them, it left everyone else behind. Fine dining replaced diners. Luxury boutiques took over the 25-cent slot areas. And the people who once felt welcome now stand on the sidewalks, staring at the lights, asking, "Is this still our Vegas?" A longtime casino worker said in an interview, "People used to come here looking for a chance. Now they come to spend money, and if you don't have it, you're invisible." That's the story of the middle class, the people who once gave Vegas its heartbeat. They brought the laughter, the energy, and the illusion that anyone could win. Now they're gone, and with them, Vegas lost its soul. 5. The mob's Vegas vs. Corporate Vegas. From the 1,950 seconds through the late 1,970 seconds, Las Vegas was known as the playground of organized crime. It was violent, corrupt, and drenched in cash skimmed straight from the casino floors. But here's the paradox. It was also the era when gamblers felt most respected. For the mob, everything was about honor. If you walked into a casino, you were a guest. If you came to play, you were part of the family. They understood one golden rule: if the customer feels like a winner, they'll come back. Casinos back then followed a simple philosophy: give them a taste of luxury, even if they're broke. Cheap buffets, free drinks, clean rooms, genuine smiles. Dealers remembered your name. Waitresses made sure your glass was never empty. Even the mob bosses themselves might shake your hand in the lobby. A tourist interviewed in 1976 said, "We knew they were gangsters, but at least they made us feel important." Vegas back then felt like a party where everyone was invited. That was old Vegas, dangerous, chaotic, but human. It was a city built on the belief that everyone deserved to feel like a winner. Then came the late 1,970 seconds. Federal crackdowns, FBI investigations, anti-money laundering laws. The mob was pushed out and corporations moved in. Vegas entered its new age, corporate Vegas. At first, it seemed like progress. Everything was cleaner, safer, more legitimate. But slowly, the heart disappeared. Corporations didn't care whether you won or lost, only about quarterly profits. Every hotel room, every cocktail, every moment of your stay was optimized for revenue. No more free buffets, no more generous comps, no more warmth. If the mob bought loyalty with generosity, corporations replaced it with algorithms. If the mob understood people, corporations only understood data. A dealer who lived through both eras once said, "When the mob ran Vegas, they wanted you happy. When corporations took over, they just wanted your money." The price of safety was the death of soul. Vegas today is brighter, cleaner, more lawful, but also colder and emptier. People look back not because they love the mob, but because they miss a Vegas that cared. 6. The death of old Vegas charm. If there's one thing that breaks the hearts of those who remember old Las Vegas, it's this. The city didn't lose its magic because it got worse, it lost it because it got too perfect. Back then, Vegas wasn't polished, it was messy, imperfect. But within that chaos lived personality, warmth, humanity, and heart. Neon lights buzzed down Fremont Street. Hand-painted signs, flickering bulbs, real laughter. You could walk into a smoky lounge where the bartender knew your name, the dealer cracked jokes, and everyone cheered when a stranger hit blackjack. Vegas back then was fun, not flawless. Now, step into a modern resort on the Strip, and you could be anywhere: Dubai, Singapore, Los Angeles. Everything is sleek, automated, efficient, and soulless. The quirky, character-filled casinos, Stardust, Riviera, Sahara, Imperial Palace are gone, replaced by billion-dollar towers that all look the same. Even Fremont Street, once the heartbeat of old Vegas, has changed. The cheap shrimp cocktails, the 99-cent beers, the all-night bands gone. In their place, a giant LED canopy and souvenir shops selling iVegas shirts. It looks like Vegas, but it doesn't feel like Vegas. Even human connection has vanished. Back in the day, comps, those little freebies, came from kindness. A pit boss remembered your face, a bartender poured a little extra because you tipped well. Now, every decision is made by an algorithm. It tracks your spending, calculates your value, and prints you a coupon. It's efficient, but it's not human. Vegas used to be the art of spontaneity. Now, it's the science of profit. People once came to Vegas to escape the real world. Now, Vegas is the real world, a perfectly engineered marketplace where emotion has a price tag, and somewhere in that perfection, the beauty died. 7. Better alternatives everywhere. There was a time when, if you wanted to gamble legally, you had to come to Las Vegas. There was no alternative. Vegas was the capital of luck, the only place where you could roll the dice without breaking the law. That monopoly made it legendary. But times changed, and Vegas lost its most precious asset: uniqueness. Today, you can gamble almost anywhere. From Atlantic City on the East Coast to tribal casinos in Arizona, Florida, and Mississippi, what used to be quiet stretches of land are now bustling entertainment hubs offering experiences just as good, sometimes better than Vegas. And if you live in Asia, you don't need to cross the ocean. Macau, the Vegas of the East, now surpasses Las Vegas in revenue. Mega resorts like the Venetian Macau and Galaxy Resort attract millions of visitors a year, pulling in 3 times more gambling revenue than Vegas. High rollers from China, Hong Kong, and Singapore spend millions in a single night living the same dream Vegas once sold, just under a different skyline. But the biggest threat to Vegas isn't overseas, it's in your pocket. Betting apps, online poker, live roulette, all accessible from your phone. You can sit on your couch, hold a beer, and place a bet with a single tap. No flights, no resort fees, no parking, no dress code. If Vegas once made people feel free, online gambling makes them feel freer. And that's the cruel irony. Vegas has lost the very thing it once embodied: freedom. Now, if you want thrill, you don't need Vegas. If you want luxury, you can go to Dubai, Singapore, or Monaco. Vegas is stuck in the middle, no longer unique, no longer essential. A city once worth flying to, now left behind by the world it inspired. 8. Vegas isn't about gambling anymore. Picture this. You walk into a casino on the Strip in 1975. The clinking of coins echoes through metal trays. A smiling dealer pours you a free whiskey. No cameras, no tracking systems, just you, your cards, and the thrill that maybe tonight is your night. Vegas back then lived and breathed through its casino floors. Now step into that same casino in 2025. The lights are still there, the sounds still buzz, but the soul has changed. Between the blackjack tables stands a $25 cocktail bar. Next to it, a Louis Vuitton boutique. Beyond that, an EDM stage pulsing under strobe lights. You don't hear the sound of winners anymore, you hear the bass drop. Vegas traded its soul for something else: profit. Today, most major resorts on the Strip make more money from entertainment, dining, and nightlife than from gambling itself. People don't come to Vegas to gamble, they come to be seen in Vegas. A city once built on dice and poker chips is now a movie set for social media. Instead of gamblers, you have influencers. Instead of winners, you have check-ins. Million-dollar parties, champagne showers, laser shows, all designed for photos, not feelings. And for those who still come to gamble, it feels alien. They look around and wonder, am I in a casino or a shopping mall? Even the layout tells the story. The gaming floor, once the heart of every resort, has been pushed aside, hidden behind restaurants, clubs, and luxury retail. Vegas doesn't want you to gamble anymore. It wants you to spend beautifully. Younger generations, millennials, Gen Z, aren't drawn to risk. They want experiences, pool parties, rooftop bars, immersive shows. They're not chasing luck, they're chasing aesthetics. And so, the casino floor, once the beating heart of the city, has become just a backdrop. It still glows, it still hums, but it's no longer the reason people come. Vegas has changed, and to many, it has betrayed what it once stood for. 9. The locals are giving up time. When people talk about the decline of Las Vegas, they usually talk about the tourists. But to really understand what's happening, you have to look at the people who live here, the ones who made Vegas magical in the first place. Because if anyone knows how much this city has changed, it's them. They're the dealers standing 8 hours at a blackjack table, the cocktail servers weaving through noisy crowds, the lounge singers performing to half-empty rooms at midnight. These are the people who once kept the pulse of Vegas alive, and now they're walking away. A veteran dealer said, "We used to work hard, but we were proud. Everyone felt like part of something special. Now it's just a job. The magic's gone. Living costs have exploded. Rent in Henderson or North Las Vegas, once safe havens for workers, has doubled in the last decade. Their wages haven't." A waitress put it simply, "We sell $25 cocktails but go home and eat instant noodles. Technology is replacing them too." Self-ordering kiosks, robotic bartenders, automated card dealers, all under the banner of innovation. But to the people of Vegas, it means being replaced. When the ones who gave this city its heartbeat start to leave, Vegas loses something no machine can replicate: human warmth. They were the silent soul of the city. They knew how to make you feel like someone even if you only played $5. They knew how to smile, how to tell a story, how to make a stranger's night unforgettable. But in today's city of lights and algorithms, those skills no longer pay. Vegas doesn't reward connection, it rewards efficiency. It doesn't want people, it wants performance. So they leave. One waitress packing her bags for Arizona said, "I love Vegas, but Vegas doesn't love me back anymore. The lights still shine, but the people who once made them shine are slowly fading away." 10. The illusion of luxury. Las Vegas used to make you feel rich, even when you weren't. That was its magic. A perfectly crafted illusion where, for a few dozen dollars, you could sit at the same bar as millionaires and believe, if only for one night, that you belonged in that world. But Vegas, in 2025, has turned that magic into a business model. Today, luxury isn't a feeling, it's a subscription. Want to feel rich? Pay $200 for a room upgrade. Want to skip the line? $100 for priority access. Want to swim in the rooftop infinity pool? $75 for a day pass? Vegas no longer gives you the feeling of luxury, it sells it. The glass towers, marble lobbies, and crystal chandeliers look like symbols of success. But look closer, it's all a stage. A digital sky, LED walls mimicking daylight, cocktails designed for photos, not flavor, hotel rooms polished to perfection yet hollow as promises. Vegas doesn't sell reality, it sells the dream that you're living it. And the irony? Everyone knows it's fake and they pay anyway. They come to pose, to post, to pretend to buy into the fantasy that they, too, are part of the elite the city parades before them. For a few hours, a few nights, they purchase a front row seat in someone else's dream until the bill arrives. Vegas isn't about winning big anymore. It's about looking like you did. Every detail is engineered to make you feel special while ensuring you're not. Everyone plays the same role, the temporary rich. In this city, wealth isn't an asset, it's an illusion, rented by the hour. And that's the tragedy of modern Vegas. A city built to help you escape reality has become the mirror of it. A place where everything is fake, and yet everyone still believes. 11. The city that forgot its soul. At night, the strip still burns bright. Billboards still flicker, music still spills from every lobby, and if you only look with your eyes, you'd think Vegas has never been stronger. But if you really listen, you'll hear something else. Beneath the glow lies a strange silence. No cheers of winners, no spontaneous laughter echoing past midnight. Vegas is still alive, but it no longer breathes. This city was built on belief that no matter who you were or how much you had, if you dared to try, you could win. That belief has been replaced by price tags, algorithms, and cold LED light. Vegas isn't a dream anymore, it's a product dressed as one. People still come. They still drink, still laugh, still pose for photos. But the laughter feels rehearsed, the joy looks staged. They're buying moments, not memories. Maybe Vegas isn't dead. Maybe its soul has just been sold off piece by piece, and when the last neon sign finally goes dark, what will remain won't be the games or the glamour, but a single unanswered question. Can a city survive after it's lost its soul? This was City Exposed. If you've ever felt the real Vegas slipping away, share your story below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned, because next time we're exposing the hidden truth behind the billion-dollar collapse of Caesars Entertainment.